Hey, what's up? Today I wanted to address the topic of horoscopes. When people see these names on is it newspapers anymore, wherever you see them online, and someone has come up with a certain personality type that somewhat aligns to the months during which you were born. Someone might say that I am a Leo, I am a Capricorn, I am a Scorpio, I am a Sagittarius. I came to tell you that you are not those things. You have no idea where these personality definitions came from. The only thing that you're supposed to be using to ascribe your personality to is the word of God. And when you go to the book of Jeremiah, verse 29, verse 11, God clearly tells us that, for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a good future. So when you call yourself a Leo, a Scorpio, a Capricorn, a Sagittarius, and whichever other star signs there are out there of the zodiac, you're essentially taking up a personality that God did not define for you. We have no idea where whoever came up with those personality definitions got them from. So when you come into agreement with them by declaring that you are a Leo, you are a Capricorn, you are a Scorpio, you are taking up prophecy that was defined by someone else, but you should only agree to take up the personality that God has already defined for you in His Word. And you can only get to know this when you actually refer to the Bible, just like the word that we read in Jeremiah 29:11. There is also another one in the book of Psalms. Let me just read it out for you. Psalms 139, verse 16. And it says, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. So this tells us that God already has a plan for us. There is a book in heaven that God has already written how He would want you to live out each and every day of your life. There are specifications that He created you, that He had in mind even before He created you, and then now when He started creating you, He put those specifications into you, and that constitutes of your personality, your physique, everything that is existent about you. So God already has certain specifications that define your personality. So it is very strange to take up the personality that someone else has defined for you who is not God, when we have seen very clearly in the Word of God that God already has a plan for your life. He already came up with it, and it is recorded in the books in heaven how He would want you to live each and every day of your life. And it is for your own benefit that you take up the plan of God, because He's the one who made you. He's the one who knows each and everything that you are faced with, whether it is your strengths, whether it is your weaknesses, and He has planned out everything ahead for you. He only wants the good things for you. So it is for your benefit when you actually take up the will and plan that God has over your life, rather than ascribing to these personalities that have already been these personalities that have been imposed upon you in the name of zodiac signs. So I will strongly discourage you from taking up these personalities which are defined in the zodiac signs, in the horoscopes, because you do not know what those are. In fact, when you read up on a lot of history, you will discover that those things are connected to idol worship, like when people used to worship the stars and the moon, which is something that actually God has mentioned in His Word, that people neglected worshiping Him and started worshiping created things, which we know as now the created things in this case are the sun and the moon. So those zodiac signs are connected to the worship of the sun and the moon and the stars. By claiming to be a Leo, a Capricorn, a Sagittarius, you really have no idea what you're joining yourself with in the spirit realm, because clearly these things were connected to the idol worship of the sun, the moon, and the stars, all the heavenly bodies. And God has clearly advised us to not worship created things, because when you start worshiping created things, you're essentially dethroning God from Him being God over your life, and you're taking up another thing and replacing your worship of the one and only true God with it. So you have dethroned God from his place and you have put this other thing. You do not know where these star signs came from. You do not know what criteria these people used to come up with those personality types in those star signs, in the zodiac signs, in the horoscopes. You have no idea where they came from. So you really should not have any business claiming that you are associated with a certain star sign just because it happens to line up with the month with which you are birthed. Take up the identity that God has for you, and we have learned from the word of God that God has already defined your identity for you. So you do not need to take up your identity from some other source, which is not God. Yes, to stay in the word of God, and he will keep on directing you on what you need to do. He will keep on revealing the things that he has put inside you that will make you live your life to the optimal level best that you can ever be. He will actually unravel the identity, the personality that he put in you. So you do not need at all to take up the identities which are defined in the zodiac signs and the horoscopes. Yeah. And with that, I pray that you will continue to draw your identity from God. Have a lovely day, will you?